Welcome back to TPS. There are so many iconic NFL nicknames that will stick forever. Names like Joe Cool for Joe Montana, the Sheriff for Peyton Manning, Broadway Joe for Joe Namath, and Mean Joe Greene for the Steelers Hall of Fame defensive tackle. You get the idea. But of course, there are also plenty of NFL nicknames that we wish would go away forever. Here are the 15 worst nicknames in NFL history.
At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video.
Number 15, Art Donovan, Fatso. The late Art Donovan, a 5-time Pro Bowler and Hall of Fame defensive tackle, somehow earned the Fatso nickname from his teammates. Donovan, a renowned jokester, often poked fun at himself, so that didn't help. In fact, he titled his autobiography, Fatso, Football When Men Were Really Men. He was also quoted as once saying the following: "You know you're big when you sit in the bathtub and the water in the toilet rises." While Donovan's weight ranged from 270 to... I know I shouldn't laugh at that, but he said it himself. It's inappropriate. He said it himself. I'm laughing. He wanted me to laugh. While Donovan's weight ranged from 270 to 300 pounds, the name wasn't really funny, kind of mean-spirited, and pretty unoriginal if you ask us. Donovan's teammates and friends could have done so much better. Number 14, Roberto AGUAYO, Mr. Perfect. Roberto earned the Mr. Perfect nickname during his college days at Florida State. He made all 198 of his extra point attempts and 88.5% of his field goals. Believing he was at least close to perfect, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers drafted him in the second round, 59th overall in 2016. Well, that whole Mr. Perfect nickname only makes sense if you actually make all of your kicks. But AGUAYO only made 22 of 31 field goal attempts in his rookie season, and he missed 2 extra points. That's not even close to perfection. In fact, it's historically bad in an era where kickers need to make 80-something% of all kicks. 2016 marked his only NFL season. So much for being Mr. Perfect. Number 13, Tom Brady, Tommy Terrific. Brady has several signature nicknames that are popular and widely acceptable, including TB12, the GOAT, and the Comeback Kid. But why did people ever start using Tommy Terrific? Sounds more like the name of a comic book superhero or a kid's cartoon character. Yeah, we'd assume Brady is terrific given his career accolades and GOAT status. Thanks. Next thing you know, we'll call Patrick Mahomes Patrick Perfect, and Deshaun Watson Dashing Deshaun, and Joe Burrow Jovial Joe. Number 12, Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football. Maybe it's just us, but we feel like you have to be legendary to carry around a nickname like Johnny Football. I mean, NHL icon Gordie Howe was rightfully referred to as Mr. Hockey, and he was and is still considered to be among the greatest hockey players of all time. Manziel successfully trademarked his Johnny Football nickname too. I don't know, I just feel like this nickname should have been dropped once he left Texas A&M for the NFL. After all, Manziel was a massive bust in Cleveland and only lasted 2 seasons in the league. Number 11, Onterrio Smith, the Whizzinator. The backstory for this cringeworthy nickname is simple. During the 2005 offseason, then Minnesota Vikings running back Onterrio Smith was caught with a device called the original Whizzinator by Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport officials. A Whizzinator is used to beat drug tests, but ironically, it wound up getting Smith in big trouble with the NFL. Smith was suspended for the entire 2005 season, having violated the NFL substance abuse policy. He never played in the NFL again, and his Whizzinator nickname will live on forever in infamy. Number 10, Anthony McFarland, Booger. The former Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Indianapolis Colts defensive tackle won 2 Super Bowls in his career, one with each team. McFarland, now an analyst for ESPN, worked on the network's Monday Night Football broadcast team in the 2018 and 2019 seasons. In my personal opinion, Anthony McFarland sounds like a pretty solid name, but he has always been referred to as Booger. Why? Back in 2004, he gave this short and not-so-sweet explanation. I was a bad kid getting into a lot of wild stuff. I used to get called a lot of different things, but that was just the one that stuck. Yeah, no offense, but boogers are kind of gross. Something we don't want to talk about. Booger kind of sounds like a nickname that you give to a kid out in the schoolyard after he's caught picking his nose, and not the name of a 2-time Super Bowl winner. We're sure there are better nicknames out there for you, Anthony. Also, Booger's the name of a character from Revenge of the Nerds. I remember that. What else? Here's a joke. Here we go. How do you make a tissue dance? Put a little boogie in it. Number 9, Mark Sanchez, the Sanchize. The New York Jets moved on from Brett Favre after a 1-year stint and drafted USC quarterback Mark Sanchez with the 5th overall selection in 2009. He led the Jets to a scorching 3-0 start, and that quickly garnered him the Sanchize nickname from teammates and coaches. It was a play on the term franchise quarterback, except, a franchise quarterback is somebody like Patrick Mahomes or Drew Brees. If Sanchez actually played like a franchise quarterback, the nickname would have been perfect. But Sanchez was never a good quarterback with the Jets. He was always mistake-prone, and besides a few clutch playoff performances, he never really showed signs of potential stardom. Rather, he was always carried by a dominant rushing game and a stingy defense that guided the Jets to the 2009 and 2010 AFC Championship games. Sanchez went 33-29 in 4 seasons as a Jets starter, with 68 touchdowns and 69 interceptions. Throw in the butt fumble, and what you have is a guy who wasn't a franchise quarterback. Number 8, Andre Williams, Andre the Giant. The late wrestling icon Andre the Giant stood at around 7 feet tall and weighed over 500 pounds. On the other hand, former NFL running back and Boston College star Andre Williams, a 2013 Heisman Trophy finalist, is listed at 6 foot tall, 220 pounds. So as you can tell, Williams isn't really all that close to the size of Andre the Giant. So why did he earn the Andre the Giant nickname? Oh, it's simple. His first name is Andre, and he was drafted by the New York Giants, where he played his first 2 NFL seasons. Sometimes a corny nickname can work, but this wasn't the case. He physically wasn't tall enough, but to me, the issue is someone else already has that name and they're a bit more iconic than him. Number 7, Brock Osweiler, the Brockness monster. Former Denver Broncos GM John Elway was known for his obsession with drafting tall quarterbacks. Well, they didn't come much taller than 6'7", 240-pound product Brock Osweiler. A month after signing future Hall of Famer Peyton Manning in free agency, the Broncos drafted the Arizona State product in the second round at number 57 overall. Again, it was just another case of the whole Elway loves his tall quarterbacks thing. The man passed on future Pro Bowler Russell Wilson, listed at 5'11" for crying out loud. Osweiler's height led to several nicknames: Brock Lobster, which we kind of like, the Brockinator, Brock and Roll, and unfortunately the Brockness Monster. Maybe if Osweiler developed into a star, that nickname would have grown on us. But other than a solid 6-game stint for the Broncos in their 2015 Super Bowl championship season, Osweiler never cut it as an NFL starter, and he retired during the 2019 season. It was time for him to bronk away from the game and enjoy new opportunities. I had to. They made me. I support it, though. Number 6, Freddie Mitchell, FREDEX. The former Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver is best remembered for 2 things. One, the clutch 4th and 26 catch that saved the Eagles from elimination in the 2003 NFC Divisional Round against the Green Bay Packers. They went on to win that game in overtime. Second, he'll also be remembered for mocking the New England Patriots secondary ahead of Super Bowl 39. That didn't work out at all for Mitchell, who was a non-factor in the Eagles' 24-21 loss. But he was quite the fan favorite in Philly, earning nicknames such as FREDEX, First Down Freddie, and the People's Champ. FREDEX, possibly because he delivered in big games. Get it? Because FREDEX is a big shipping company. But unfortunately, FREDEX didn't deliver in the Super Bowl now, did he? We liked First Down Freddie better. Maybe that's just us. Number 5, Doug Martin, the Muscle Hamster. Former NFL running back Doug Martin enjoyed 2 Pro Bowl 1,000-yard seasons with the Buccaneers in 2012 and 15. But for whatever reason, Martin was never able to find any consistency in his game whatsoever. During his superb 2012 rookie year, Martin revealed the story behind his Muscle Hamster nickname. He got it from his teammates at Boise State due to his incredible strength despite his smaller stature. Even Martin admits that he downright couldn't stand the nickname. It has to be the worst nickname ever. I can't shake it. It started in college, started back in Boise with our linemen. I have a lot of bigger friends, and they'd call me the Muscle Hamster because of how much I could lift in the weight room. Yeah, it's a little bit corny. Number 4, Marquez Pope, the Pounding Pontiff. Former NFL defensive back Marquez Pope earned the nickname of the Pounding Pontiff. Our guess is because he developed a reputation as one of the league's hardest hitters. Either way, the nickname just doesn't do it for us. We totally understand that his last name is Pope, but just think about it for a second. The Pounding Pontiff? That just sounds wrong. My guess is there were some folks in the Vatican who were not a fan of this nickname, and neither are we. Number 3, Willie Anderson, Flipper. The former NFL wide receiver and Super Bowl 32 champion with the Denver Broncos holds the record for the most receiving yards in a single game with 336. Anderson accomplished the feat with the Los Angeles Rams in the 1989 game against the New Orleans Saints. He also has one of the most memorable nicknames in Flipper. According to Anderson, he received the nickname from his babysitter when he was a kid because he cried like a dolphin. Oh, and Anderson even grew up to love the NBC television show Flipper. Yes, it's centered around a dolphin a little before my time, but I'm told it existed. Number 2, John Elway, Mr. Ed. We personally don't care for nicknames that mock somebody's appearance. You learn by grade 3 how childish and unacceptable those are. Former Seattle Seahawks linebacker Brian Bosworth, one of the NFL's all-time biggest draft busts, made headlines in '88 when he offered some harsh trash talk towards Elway. Bosworth referred to him as Mr. Ed, simply mocking Elway's teeth. Mr. Ed was a popular late 50s and 60s television program that featured a talking horse, and his owner, Wilbur. A shoulder injury forced Bosworth to retire in '89, and for what it's worth, Elway offered zero sympathy. I'm not going to miss him. I'm sure he'd like to play, but my heart's not falling out for him. I hate to see that happen to anybody, even him. But he got out of the NFL what he wanted, money and attention. I'm guessing Elway wasn't a fan of the Mr. Ed nickname either. Number 1, Kiko Alonso, Goldilocks. The backstory behind this nickname is incredibly embarrassing, and that's why it's claimed the top spot on our list. The veteran linebacker had a forgettable episode during his college days in Oregon. One night, amid some heavy partying, a drunk Alonso was looking to return to a house party. He inadvertently broke into the wrong house and passed out on a resident's couch. They called 911 and Alonso was arrested and charged with burglary, criminal mischief, and criminal trespass. Alonso was sentenced to 200 hours of community service and 2 years probation. He was also ordered to go through an alcohol awareness program. One of Alonso's coaches gave him the Goldilocks nickname because he ended up in the wrong house, kind of like what happened to Goldilocks in a popular fairy tale. Not a nickname you want, and certainly not for that reason. For what it's worth, Alonso admitted that he deserved the nickname. Which do you think is the worst nickname in NFL history? You got that accent coming out because I've loosened up a little bit. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. You can subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. You can like the video. We always like it when you like the video. And until next time, tune in to TPS every single day for more cool videos forever.